What's up, Dub Nation? You're watching Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. Coming up on today's show, a bad loss against the Dallas Mavericks in which the Warriors built a huge lead, then collapsed in the fourth quarter. We'll take a look at the struggles of Nemanja Bjelica. Could he be on his way out to make room for a player like Robin Lopez or Derrick Favors through the NBA buyout market? We start off by taking a look and diving into that loss against the Dallas Mavericks at home at the Chase Center, in which the Warriors offense yet again really struggled down the stretch. And it was marked by a couple of Mavericks runs that are just flat out unacceptable. Final score of 107-101. Luka Doncic went off for 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 dimes. Spencer Dinwiddie was really good coming in off the bench to chime in with 24 points. And while Steph Curry dropped 27, he was cold in that fourth quarter, and this continues to be a theme for the Golden State Warriors. Their defense has really struggled without Draymond Green. Their offense has struggled without Draymond Green, and I cannot wait to see him get back on the floor because I think he's really going to be able to help out the Warriors on both ends of the floor. Really what this game came down to, we talk about basketball being a game of runs. That's what it was last night. The Warriors are up by 20-plus points. They're playing offense in a very free-flowing manner, and then for some reason, when the starters go out, the depth pieces and the bench unit couldn't do anything offensively. That then led to the Mavericks going on a couple of different enormous runs. One 26-1 run, and then in the entire fourth quarter, the Mavericks outscored the Warriors 33-10. Not often do you see the Warriors' offense just grow stagnant, especially late in games. And yes, Klay Thompson did not play, but this is an offense that always seems to play its best basketball late in games. But over the last couple of weeks, as they've hit a little bit of a skid, that's been part of their struggles. Now, also, part of the Warriors' struggles, we've talked about this all year. Lack of front court size, especially defensive ability. And Nemanja Bjelica, since the start of the calendar year, it's not been good, folks. This is coming from Anthony Slater of The Athletic. Bench players blink as the brightest problem from last night. The Warriors were -8 in Nemanja Bjelica's minutes. Bjelica's defense has been a persistent issue that isn't a surprise to the Warriors. There's a reason he was available on the vet minimum. Bjelica is a specialist. He is a stretch big and an instinctive passer who moves in cement laterally, and as such is regularly targeted by opposing offenses. Since the calendar year flipped to 2022, Bjelica is 8 of 36 from 3. I repeat, 8 of 36 from 3 in 21 games, and has committed 25 turnovers and limited bench minutes, mostly in frantic search of a passing lane once the shot became hesitant. There was a point last night also when Luka Doncic just put Nemanja Bjelica in a blender and blew right by him en route to the cup. And Bjelica, this has been a little bit of an alarming trend. He's not playing good defense. He's not knocking down threes, and because of that, that's his value, he's starting to fall out of the rotation. So could he be let go to make room for an NBA buyout candidate if Bob Myers canvasses the buyout market and he's like, that player might be a little bit of an upgrade? Something that we'll continue to talk about on today's show, something to think about going into tomorrow because that is the deadline for buyout acquisitions to be made. So what should the Warriors do with Bjelica? I want to ask you this question, and I want all of your honest answers in the comment section right now. Type S for stay, G for go. Get those votes in. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, perfect opportunity to scroll on down and get your votes in. Then when you do that, we'll be back talking Dubs hoops. Shifting to the NBA buyout market, Bleacher Report listed 4 players as buyout options for the Golden State Warriors. Kent Bazemore, familiar face. Derrick Favors of the Oklahoma City Thunder, a forward and center. Robin Lopez, center with the Orlando Magic. And Corey Joseph, pretty good ball handler who can let it fly from deep and score a little bit, playing this year with the Detroit Pistons. Now, if the Warriors make a move on the NBA buyout market and they sign somebody, we'll be the first to let you know. So make sure you subscribe to Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports for the best Warriors coverage on YouTube. And if you're a real Warriors fan, we have you covered. This is the place to be. I want to get to 28,000 subs by the end of the week, so make sure you hit that red subscribe button. In addition to bringing you the latest Warriors news and rumors, our loyal subscribers, they get really good deals as well, like this Warriors polo to my right. That is not me as the model, but I kind of have forearms like that. Warriors Polo on sale, limited time only for just $40. Go to chatsports.com/Warriors Polo. All thanks to our friends at Fanatics. I'll put that link in the comment section as well as the description of this video. You take a look at what Kent Bazemore has been able to do with Los Angeles this year, or what he hasn't been able to do. He's really fallen out of the rotation. Started the year as a starter in that starting five, but has really fallen out of favor in Los Angeles with the Lakers. 3.5 points per game. The field goal percentage is bad. He's shooting around 37% from the floor, but again, he is barely playing with the Lakers this year. And while bringing Bazemore in would give you a little bit of familiarity because he played with this team last year, I'm good on Kent Bazemore, folks. I don't think you really gain anything by bringing him in. When you look at the depth of the Warriors roster at the wing spot, guard spot, forward spot, they're in a good position. For me, they need some depth in the front court, and Kent Bazemore doesn't give you that. So I'm going to press the pass button on Kent Bazemore, but I will be interested if Derrick Favors or Robin Lopez become available, especially the latter in Lopez. Both players with bad teams, Favors with OKC, Lopez with Orlando, both playing somewhat sparingly, although Lopez has played a little bit more, less games played because of injury. But Derrick Favors this year, former top 10 pick, everybody thought he was going to be a stud. He's been a serviceable big man over his career. 15 minutes per this year with OKC, 5.5 points, 5.5 boards. He's always been good as a rebounder and a guy who can kind of hang out around the rim, connecting on about 64% of his field goals, and he gives you about a block per night. So defensively, and a big body down low, he can give you some good minutes, in addition to Kevon Looney, as well as James Wiseman and hopefully Draymond Green when they come back. Robin Lopez, on the other hand, better player in my opinion, more minutes per game with Orlando, but both players, again, playing with teams that aren't going to make it in the playoffs. 9 points, around 4 rebounds. He's shooting around 63% from the floor and giving you about a half block per night. So Lopez and Favors would be better defensive options, there is no question, as compared to Nemanja Bjelica. Both of these players do not shoot the basketball and are not a threat to let it fly from beyond the arc like Bjelica is. So really what it comes down to for Bob Myers, if Favors and Lopez are made available, what kind of style are you looking for a backup center? You want a traditional guy? Lopez and Favors are it. You want a modern-day floor stretcher and shooter who's been cold, like the numbers we just showed you, then you go with Bjelica. But I want to pose this question for the audience. If you had to pick a big among the two who we just broke down, Favors, Lopez, who would you rather have on this Warriors roster? Type DF for Derrick Favors or L for Robin Lopez. Once again, chime in the comment section down below. Lastly, Corey Joseph, playing with the Detroit Pistons this year, another one of those veterans on a young team. He's actually gotten some decent run this year, and the numbers are pretty solid for Corey Joseph. 8 points per game, little less than 4 boards. You're not going to ask him to rebound the basketball. What are you going to ask him to do? Handle, shoot, generate some offense. Been able to do that this year. 45% shooting nearly, and he's shooting around 42% from beyond the arc with a little bit of volume there. So again, you look at the Warriors guards, you look at their wings, you look at some of their ball handlers and some of their depth there. You don't really need a player like Corey Joseph, but it would become one of those situations where it's like, hey, best player available in the NBA buyout market. We can get him for a cheap price. Could he maybe be a rotational player next year? Another veteran in the mix? Potentially. So with that, I'm going to ask you one last question on today's show. Name a buyout candidate you want the Warriors to sign by tomorrow, depending on which players actually become buyout candidates. Warriors could use some additions to the roster. I think they're in pretty good spot. I'd love to see James Wiseman and Draymond Green come back. I think that helps a lot of your front court issues. So I'm tending to believe that a lot of you would rather go front court with buyout candidates. But let me know some NBA buyout candidates or just a solo candidate you want the Warriors to sign. Let me know. Thanks for watching today's show. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great day.